Is High Seas the best set yet? Hello and welcome to the table, and today I'm doing a full set review for High Seas, the latest Flesh and Blood set coming out. And man, I cannot wait for it because there's a ton of stuff, ton of stuff that is really fun. And a lot of good budget cards, a lot of good looking heroes, a lot of good cards, and a stowaway, which we'll get to later. But starting things off, I got Riches of Tropal Donnie. This card is super cool. This is the Fabled of the set. It is a 2-pitch generic resource gem. It's legendary, so you can only have one copy of it in your deck. And when it is pitched, you get to create a gold token, which is a little token you can pitch 2/2 to draw a card. Pretty simple. Gold's pretty important in this set. This seems like a pretty good Fabled, especially considering it could go in any freaking deck. So yeah, seems pretty decent. Is it going to be the most expensive Fabled of all time? Probably not. Is it one of the prettiest? Yes. But let's look at the first couple of cards, the first bunch of cards, the Pirate Mechanologist cards, starting off with Puffin Hightail. This is a 4 intellect, 40 health Pirate Mechanologist hero that as an action you can tap her, destroy a gold you control to create a golden cog token. And the second time you crank each turn, you get to draw a card. A golden cog, pretty simple little token, just has crank. So it enters with a steam counter, and you can remove that steam counter to get an action point. And when it enters the arena, it comes in with a steam counter, I already said that. But at the start of your turn, you can destroy it unless you remove a steam counter from it. So you can get action points off of it, potentially. You want to crank multiple times with Puffin in order to get action points. Once you run out of steam counters, the golden cog blows itself up. So, seems decent enough. Puffin, I think, is a really cool looking hero. I mean, drawing cards is powerful, and it's a pirate mechanologist, so there's bonuses there. I've been wanting to build a mechanologist in CC, or at least in general, for a while now. I might just build this in Project Blue, but who knows. Speaking of which, get into Project Blue. It is an insane format. There's a video on it on the channel. Go check that out. Link in the description down below. But Puffin Hightail seems really, really cool. But then I got Polycranka. It is a Puffin companion. It's an offhand ally. It is a legendary with 1 health, and it has crank, and it has perched, a new keyword that says this can be equipped in addition to a 2-handed weapon, which pretty much all mechanologists have 2-handed weapons, which are generally guns of some kind. But this cannot be attacked while it's equipped, and as an action you can tap it, banish it, and return it to the arena under its owner's control, unequipped, tapped, and with a steam counter. So basically, once per game, you can use Poly as an action without go again, and basically get kind of a bonus golden cog, except it doesn't have the golden cog name, which is important because there are a lot of cards in this set that care about, for Puffin at least, that care about golden cogs or cogs in order to get value off of them. But it can be another way to crank, and a potential way to crank a second time to get a card off of Puffin. So it's a useful card. Plus it has 1 health, so it might stick around for a while. I don't know. Seems decent. Seems decent enough. But then there is the Majestic, first Majestic, Golden Sky Warden, well, actually, there are a couple of Majestics that are kind of like out of the way, so I'm going to talk about the weapons and the equipment first, then I'll get to the Majestics. So, first weapon, Cogworks Blunderbuss. I love the name, and I love the art. And for 2 damage, 2 resources, and tapping it, you can attack with it, again, for 2 damage. And as an instant speed ability, you can tap a cog you control and say, this card's next attack gets go again. So you want to make a bunch of golden cogs for reasons, such as tapping them to give this thing go again, and then send in for 2 resources, 2 damage. Seems decent enough. And if you have a way to untap this weapon, you can attack with it multiple times because that action is not a once per turn action. It is a many times as you want per turn action, permitting that you have the resources and the ability to untap Cogworks Blunderbuss and the golden cogs, or cogs in general, to give this thing go again. So, a lot of good stuff. Then there's Spitfire. As an action, you can tap with it and a cog you control to attack with it for 2 damage. And when this attacks, you can tap a cog you control to then give it +1 power. It's basically, Spitfire is basically just a worse blunderbuss. I don't know. The fact that you don't have to spend any resources for Spitfire makes it potentially better than the blunderbuss. They're both good in their own way. Because the Spitfire is just a good way to, like, close the chain, just, like, get in damage. Like, repeatable 3 points of damage for usually just free, essentially. Every single turn, that can be really valuable to you. That's why Radiant is good in Bolton. Cogworks Blunderbuss can be kind of a way to get repeatable damage, permitting you have the resources to do so. So it could be, they're both good in their own way, is what I'm trying to say. But then there's Cogworks Tinker Reins. This is a beautiful piece of equipment. It blocks for 2, it's got Blade Break, and when it defends, you get to create a golden cog token. Seems pretty good because, again, cog's important. For the little bit that you've seen so far with the weapons, they already seem pretty important. This just allows you to make a cog for free. So good stuff. And again, when that cog enters, you can crank it, and if you've cranked so many times, you get to draw cards thanks to Puffin. So very good stuff. Then there's Rust Belt. It is another Mechanologist equipment. This time it's a chest piece with Battle Worn, and it blocks for 1 damage. And as an instant speed ability, you can tap it and a cog you control and destroy this equipment to then gain a resource. Essentially, this is a better Blossom Sprain for Mechanologists only that have the whole cog theme like Puffin does. So seems decent, especially for, I don't know, Project Blue or a budget deck for CC or Blitz or whatever. So Rust Belts seems like a pretty decent piece of equipment, especially for draft. I think this card is going to be insane in draft for this deck if you pull it. So look out for that if you're going to play draft. But then there's Unicycle. This is a 1-block Battle Worn Mechanologist equipment leg piece at instant speed. You can destroy it, untap a cog you control, which is important because, again, something that's very big with this deck is tapping cogs, which we've seen with Cogworks Blunderbuss and Spitfire already. And Unicycle here can allow you to untap those cogs and maybe get to use them a couple of more times to tap, untap, and do shenaniganry there. But then getting to the Majestics, I got Golden Skywarden, a 4-powered 7-attack, 2-block, 2-pitch Pirate Mechanologist action attack with Galvanize, so when it defends, you can destroy an item you control, like a cog with no steam counters on it, for example. And if you do, it gets +1 defense, and if a golden cog is destroyed this way, you get to create a gold token, very important, and you repeat this process. So gold, you can use with Puffin to create golden cogs. If you use golden cogs, pop them to the Golden Skywarden, you can make gold tokens and block for more with it. So this can be potentially blocking for, I don't know, just on rate 3, maybe 4. Who knows, maybe 5. Could be really good. It's not the best Majestic in the world, but it's decent enough. But then there's Jolly Bludger. This is super cool, in my opinion. It looks super cool, at least, because it's a flying pirate ship. It's a flying pirate ship! But anyways, it pitches for 2, it comes in for 5, costs 2 to play, and blocks for 3. And when it attacks, you can tap a cog you control, and if you do, it gets Overpower. And when this deals combat damage to a hero, well, when it deals damage to a hero, you get to steal that many items they control. And at a thrice per turn instant speed ability, you can tap a cog you control to then give this thing +1 power. So it can come in for potentially 8, maybe even Overpower. So if you tap 4 cogs, 9 Overpower, that can allow you to steal maybe 9 items. And with golden, gold, just in general, being very important, gold are items. They're token items, item tokens. This card can allow you to steal them, so who knows? Seems pretty decent to me. And it's just a good way to just come in for damage and have a way to make it harder to block because it has the ability to get Overpower. So all good stuff. But then there is Cogworks Dovetail. This is a 1-cost 5-attack 3-block 1-pitch Mechanologist attack action that says when it hits a hero, you untap all cogs you control. Already busted, love it. In addition, at a thrice per turn instant speed ability, you can tap a cog you control to then give this +1 power or go again. So you can give it, I don't know, +2 power and go again for 1 resource, coming for 7 go again. And essentially, if it hits all those cogs you just tapped, you basically didn't tap them. And you get to do more stuff because you gave the thing go again. All for 1 simple resource. That is busted, permitting that you have the 3 golden cogs, or just cogs in general, but still, that's insane, to me, at least. But then there is Palantir Aeronaut, a 2-cost, 6-attack, 3-pitch Mechanologist attack action that pitches for 1, and says the defending hero must defend this with an equipment they control if able. That's already great for you. And at a thrice per turn instant speed ability, you can tap a cog you control to give this +1 power, and if it's the 3rd time you've activated this ability, you destroy a defending card. Like an equipment, maybe the opponent only has really important pieces of equipment left that block for 2, like Battle Worn would probably be the best, or maybe like, what would it be? Just blocks for 2, Battle Worn, or something like that, for example. They want to keep it around for a while, and all of a sudden, if that's the only thing they block with, and you tap 3 cogs, this is coming in for 9. You get to destroy the piece of equipment, maybe deal some damage to them. Just seems like a ton of really, really good stuff. I mean, coming in with the Cogworks Dovetail into the Palantir Aeronaut, only pitching 1 blue, maybe getting to Arsenal a card. And then if you have 3 cogs, you can do all of that, and maybe do that the next turn. I mean, that seems like pretty good stuff, not gonna lie. But then, there's Cog in the Machine. This is a 1-cost action, Mechanologist action that blocks for 3, pitches for 1. Doesn't have Go Again, but it does create 2 golden Cog tokens, which crank action points, potential. And then you may tap a Cog you control, and if you do, you put this on the bottom of the owner's deck. So you can get potential value by putting this on the bottom. You can get Cogs, you can crank with both, get a card draw with the Puffin, get some action points. Seems pretty good to me. Now, sure, you're going to lose one of those action points effectively in order to give this thing effective Go Again, but you still got 1 bonus action point lying around to allow you to come in with some of these big, massive pirate ships that don't have Go Again, and then maybe come in with some that do, and then get more value and get in more damage. Seems like good stuff. But then there's Cogworks Workshop, a Mechanologist action, blocks for 3, costs 1, pitches for 3, and allows you to just create a golden cog token. And then you put a steam counter on up to 2 cogs you control. Good stuff. I mean, I don't know if it's a worse or better version of Cog in the Machine. They're both really good in their own sense. This, sure, only pitches for 1. This pitches for 3. That's bonuses. But this only creates 1 golden cog. That creates 2. But this can allow you to put steam counters on cogs so you can keep them around for longer portions of time. This can go on the bottom of your deck so you can get more value out of it later. They're both really good in their own right, is what I'm trying to say. But then there is Cloud City Steamboat, a 2-cost, 6-attack, 3-block, 1-pitch Mechanologist attack action that says when this hits, you can tap a cog you control, and if you do, put a steam counter on a cog you control. And as a twice per turn instant speed ability, you can tap it, cog you control, to give this +1 power. This is the first rare, and it's honestly a really solid rare. Steam counters can get a little bit bigger, and, you know, it's coming in for a ton of damage. And it's a flying pirate ship. All very, very good stuff. This is in a cycle of red, yellow, and blue, just so you know. I'm going to say that so that I don't have to read the yellow and blue cards too. But so, just a note for the future. Like the Cogworks Zeppelin, also red, yellow, and blue. It's got a rainbow. But then it costs 2, comes in for 6, blocks for 3, pitches for 1, and it's a Mechanologist attack action that says when this hits a hero, you can tap a cog you control, and if you do, you create a golden cog token. So instead of putting steam counters on stuff, you get to create another cog. Good stuff. And it's also got a twice per turn instant speed ability to tap a cog you control to give itself +1 power. So good stuff. Comes in for 8 potentially, creates some cogs. I mean, that card and the Steamboat are both very, very good in their own right, in my opinion. Would you want to run both in a deck? Depends on, like, if you're wanting to make it budget or not. In Limited, yes, run as many of these as you can. But outside of that, it's up to you. But then there is Copper Cog. This is only a blue. Pitches for 3, obviously, because it's blue. Costs nothing. Doesn't have Go Again, but it has Crank, so that's good. Enters with 2 steam counters, and at the start of your turn, you remove a steam counter, and if you can't, you destroy it. So, and it's also got a new keyword on it, Unlimited, so you can have any number of copies of it in your deck. So in draft, you can have an unlimited number of copies of stuff, which is great for you because, you know, consistency is a big thing in draft that can allow you to win more often or not. And this card can allow you to have that kind of ability in Constructed. and this pitches for 3. Sure, it doesn't block for anything, which is really unfortunate. If this blocked, this card would be cracked, in my opinion at least. You would want to run at least 3 copies of this, in my opinion, in a deck, maybe a little bit more. But because it doesn't block, I'm not 100% sure what you would want to do there. The fact that it's a cog is really important, though. But then there's Lubricate. It is also only a blue. It pitches for 3, blocks for nothing, costs nothing. It says untap up to 3 cogs you control as a Mechanologist instant. So good stuff, because I mean, untapping your cogs, allowing you to get more value out of them is a pretty big deal for Puffin, it looks like. The thing is that this doesn't block for anything, sure. It pitches for 3, but you need 3 cogs to get the most value out of this, and that can be possible, but it seems like this deck is generally going to have, like, 2 or 3. Like, it doesn't seem like there's a... I don't know. It's just... Lubricate seems like a decent card, is what I'm trying to say. But then there's Pinion Sentry, a 3-pitch, 3-block Mechanologist block that says when it's defense, you may tap a cog you control, and if you do, you create a golden cog token. This card is awesome, in my opinion. It's a 3-pitch, 3-block, which is something that all decks really want, because if you have to block with a blue, you want it to block for 3. You don't want it to block for 2. This can do that. When this is blocking, you can tap a cog you control to then create a golden cog token, allow you to get more resources. Maybe get some action points on your opponent's turn. I don't know why that would matter. Unless you block with multiple of these, then you can crank a second time, because it's each turn, not just on your turn, and maybe draw a card with Puffin. But Pinion Sentry seems like an absolutely insane card, in my opinion. Definitely want 3 copies of this in any deck that you can get, no matter what format you're playing, in my opinion at least, because this card just seems really good. Generates cogs, blocks for 3, pitches for 3. It's just all good stuff. All good stuff. But yeah. Then there's Cloud Skiff. It's in the rainbow. It's got a rainbow. It's red, yellow, and blue, but it costs 1, comes in for 5, blocks for 3, pitches for 1, and it's a Mechanologist attack action that says, once per turn instant, you can tap a cog you control to give it +1 power or go again. I really like this card. It's basically a more budget version of the Cogworks Dovetail. It's pretty much the exact same card, except it doesn't have the on-hit. Like, literally the exact same card. Now, what does that say about this card? I think it says a lot. Oh, wait, no, it's a once per turn instant. I don't know why I thought it said thrice per turn instant. That would not be okay at common, in my opinion at least. Because I'm like, man, these cards are pretty similar. It's just like, it's only the on-hit that's different. No, it's not. There's a little bit more to it. But still, it's still a decent card because it can come in for 5 go again for 1 resource without having you to do like the general thing that Mechanologists do, which is boosting. So it can allow you to like not be fatigued as consistently, which I don't know. That's something that I like about Puffin. It seems like it can go longer. It can be a little bit more mid-rangey than a lot of Mechanologist decks because a lot of Mechanologist decks, again, boost, big thing. So I don't know. I like it still. But then there's Sky Skimmer, which is the exact same card except it costs nothing and comes in for 4. So honestly, I think this card's a little bit better, not gonna lie, because I like stuff that costs 0 more than 1, because, you know, I like to go wider, because that's just how I work. But Sky Skimmer, really, really good card. And in Limited especially, I think this card's gonna be insane. But then there's Teeth of the Cog. This is, one, the art is pretty cool. I mean, it's just like a little cute dude doing stuff. But it is a 0 cost, 4 block, 2 block, or 4 attack, 2 block. 1 pitch Mechanologist attack action with Galvanize, and says when this defends, you may destroy an item you control, and if you do, you create a golden cog token. That seems really good to me in Limited. It's got a red, yellow, and blue version like the other commons, Sky Skimmer and Cloud Skiff. But this card, I think, is the worst of the bunch. It's still fine. It's not great. But, I mean, it's good in Limited, is what I'm trying to say. But then there's Tough Old Wrench. This, I love the name. It's a 2 cost, 6 attack, 2 block, 1 pitch. It's the same thing as Teeth of the Cog, except it's a 2 for 6 instead of a 0 for 4. That's the easiest way to put it. It's also in a rainbow. But then there is Goldwing Turbine. It's a 2-cost Mechanologist action, blocks for 3, costs 1, or pitches for 1, and says your next Mechanologist attack this turn gets +3 power, and you get to create a Golden Cog token. This does not have Go Again, notably, so you gotta crank with that Cog if you want to give this thing Go Again, which is unfortunate. I don't think, honestly, this is a very good card. If it costs 1 resource, I would think it would be a lot better, but because it costs 2, I think it's actually quite a bit worse. But that's just me. But then it's also in a rainbow. But then there is Draw Back the Hammer, just a red. It costs 1, says it's got Go Again. It's a Mechanologist action with Go Again, blocks for 2. Says your next Mechanologist attack this turn gets +4 power, and you may untap a gun you control, and it got Go Again. So this card, I think, is way better than this last card. Sure, this doesn't create a Golden Cog, which does suck, but it can untap a gun you control, allowing you to come in multiple times with the Spitfire, something that doesn't really go as wide as often as it just comes in for 3 for basically 0 resources. Or with the Cogworks Blunderbuss more without you having to do stuff with cogs, tapping cogs. Or untapping. Yeah, that could be a way for you to untap the Cogworks Blunderbuss, as I was saying earlier. So yeah, Draw Back the Hammer, good card. But then there's Perk Up. This card, I don't know if this is better or worse. It's also only a red. It's the exact same thing as Draw Back the Hammer, except it untaps your hero. It depends on if you have the golds. If you have the golds, then this is better. If you just want to come with your gun multiple times and you don't have the golds, then the Draw Back the Hammer is better. But then there's Tighten the Screws, which is the same thing, except this one untaps a cog you control. This one, I think, generally speaking, is going to be the best, because untapping cogs to get more value out of them generally is what your deck wants to do, more than attacking with your weapon multiple times. Though, to be fair, Draw Back the Hammer I do think is pretty flexible, and probably like close to as good as this card, or maybe even better potentially. I don't know. This card's good though. Is what I'm trying to say. But that's it for the Mechanologist / Pirate Mechanologist cards. Now we're on to Gravy Bones, Shipwrecked Looter. It's a 4 intellect, 40 health Pirate Necromancer hero that says at instant speed you can tap it and destroy a gold you control to draw a card, then discard a card. You get to loot because, you know, pirates, you want to loot. But this card also reads, if a blue card has been put into your graveyard this turn, you may play cards with Watery Grave from your graveyard, permitting that they're not turned face down, because then you can't play them, because that's how those cards work. That's how Flesh and Blood works. Something that you gotta keep in mind, this is a very complicated hero, which makes me kind of glad that it's probably gonna be too expensive to play, because, yeah, my brain is stretched thin as it is, simply put. But there is Compass of Sunken Depths. This card, at instant speed, you can tap it, look at the top card of your deck, and the first card with Watery Grave you play from your graveyard each turn gets Go Again. That is pretty good, because one, you can look at what you're maybe drawing off the Gravy Bones, plus Watery Grave, all your Watery Grave cards, all your allies, because all your allies have Watery Grave, they don't have Go Again, and this can allow you to play potentially 2 in a turn. So that is really good to me, in my opinion. But then there's Washed Up Wave. This is a 0-block Blade Break, which is like, huh? How does that work? Pirate Necromancer Arm Piece, but when it defends, you may discard a card or destroy the top card of your deck, and if that card has Watery Grave, it gets +2 defense. So that's good for, you know, those purposes. But yeah, Washed Up Wave seems decent. But then there's the first Majestic, Blood in the Water. This card is cracked. This is a Pirate Necromancer D-React, 4-block, 0 cost, 1 pitch, D-React. It says when it defends, you may discard a card or destroy the top card of your deck, and if that card has Watery Grave, this card gets +2 defense. So, generally speaking, it's a 0 cost, 4-block D-React, which is always great. Or, sometimes, you know, if you're getting stuff into your grave, which you want to do with this deck anyways, if it's a certain kind of card, then boom, you get to block with this thing for 6. One card that blocks for 6 is pretty powerful, I would imagine, and this card does that. This card is not okay, and is probably going to cost a lot of money. Also because the art is sick. I mean, I'm not a guy who likes creepy crap, but this card, is pretty cool. You gotta admit. Because, I mean, look at that art. But then there is Chart the High Seas. This set is called High Seas, and it's Chart the High Seas, and it's got like art that sort of looks like the Bermuda Triangle in it. There's a little triangle, so I don't know. I like it, and it's cool. It pitches for 3, costs nothing, has go again because it's a powered Necromancer attack or action. Blocks for 3, says look at the top 2 cards of your deck, then you may pitch a blue from on them and put the rest into your graveyard. And create a gold for each yellow card put into your graveyard this way. So basically you can get 3 resources off of this card by playing it, which is really good. And potentially a gold if you trash a yellow, basically, off of this. So very powerful, potentially. Seems pretty good to me, in my opinion at least. So, I don't know. Leave a comment down below if you think that this card's insane, as I think it is, because I think it's pretty insane. Then there's Give No Quarter. This card, one, it's got a pirate flag on it, and it's a sick-looking pirate flag. But it costs nothing, pitches for 3, it's a pirate necromancer, action will go again, blocks for 3. So as your next 2 ally cards with Watery Grave, if you play this turn, cost 3 less to play. That's not okay, because a lot of your necromancers cost 3 or less resources, and with, you know, the whole compass of Sunken Depths, basically how this card works is that you can play 2 allies potentially for free or almost free off of this card, which is absurd to me, in my opinion. So yeah, this card is cracked. leave a comment. But then there's Chum, Friendly First Mate. This guy's cool. It's 4 cost, 4 attacks, 6 health. Pirate Necromancer ally action. Pitches for 2, and as an action you can tap it and attack with it. And at instant speed you can tap it, discard a card with Water Grave, and until the end of your turn, opponents must choose this as a target of attacks if able. So it basically fogs the opponent for a turn. At your hero, at least. Because everything, including your hero, untaps at the end of each of your turns. So you can attack with this guy if it's got go again from the compass. And then come in for 4. And then on your opponent's turn, you can tap it and just say, hey, I'm going to discard a Watery Grave card, which is stuff that I want to do anyways. I want to discard stuff, get stuff into the bin, and get value off of it. And, yeah. I basically fog you for a turn, which is, that's insane to me. But then there's Morlaix Le Fay. It's honestly maybe even better than the last card. It costs 0. It attacks for 0. It's got 3 health. It pitches for 2, and as an action you can attack with it, which, why would you do that? It comes in for nothing. But at instant speed, for 1 resource, you can tap it and put a +1 power counter on target ally. So that is the powerful thing. If it costs 0 resources to do that, I'm glad it doesn't cost 0 resources, because I don't know why, I just have a feeling that this cost 0 resources to activate it first, and then all of a sudden it just didn't anymore because people realized, the designers at LSS realized, wait a minute, this might be a little bit too good. But maybe that's just me. I don't know why I think that, but I just have a feeling in my gut. But then there's Whaler Humperdinck. Remember how I said this card's good? Give No Quarter. This card seems pretty good with Give No Quarter, because it costs 6 resources, which seems pretty much impossible to play, but you can Give No Quarter to potentially play this and another ally that costs 3 resources for free. So that's good. Well, I mean, you have to pitch a blue to this still, but it's an 11 powered ally with 7 health, so it's a big boy. And your opponent, it's basically another Chum if you play this card, because it fogs the opponent more than likely. Because, I mean, look at that. Your opponent doesn't want to deal with that. 11 power? Sure, you have to spend 6 resources as an action in tapping it in order to attack with it, but, I mean, dude, that's insane. Also, it's a yellow. All your allies are yellow, it seems. So the whole Chart the High Seas, you know, potentially being able to get golds seems pretty, I say potentially, seems pretty plausible. Not gonna lie, seems pretty plausible. But then there is Board the Ship, first rare, because everything that I've shown you so far has been a majestic. But Board the Ship is the first rare. It's a red, only a red. It costs 2, comes in for 6, blocks for 3. It's a pirate necromancer attack action. Costs, pitches for 1, sorry. And it says when it attacks, you may tap an ally you control, and if you do, it gets overpower. Good and limited. That's all I'm going to say there. But then there's Paddle Faster. It's a 0 cost, 4 attack, 3 block, pitches for 1. Pirate Necromancer attack action that says when it's attacked, you may tap an ally you control to give it go again. Only limited. Just gonna say. Only limited. But then there's Hoist 'em Up. This is a 4 block Pirate Necromancer block that says when it defends, you may tap an ally you control, and if you do, it gets +1 +1 defense. So this can block for 5. And this deck, you know, Gravy here, wants to kind of last for a while, wants to kind of stick around and get value for a while and take a while to set things up and make it impossible for your opponent to win after you set up for a little bit. This card can allow you to do that because defending is kind of the best way to fatigue the opponent to allow you to get to your big end game stupidity. So yeah, Hoist 'em Up. Seems decent. But then there is Avasti. I'm trying my best to do a pirate voice, everybody, I'm sorry. But pitches for 3, costs nothing. It's a pirate necromancer, action would go again, blocks for 3. It says your next pirate ally attack this turn gets go again, and when it hits a hero, you get to create a gold token. Seems decent. The art's cool. The art's really cool. I don't know why I said it's cool. It's really cool. But, you know, yeah. Then there's Heave Ho! Pitches 3, costs nothing. It's the same thing as the last card, except the thing gets overpowered. You're going to notice that there's kind of like a cycle of stuff in the set. There's a lot of cycles that, like, one thing is go again, one thing is overpower, and one thing gives a +1 power buff. The next card, Yo Ho Ho, is the thing that gets a +1 power buff. It's the same thing as the last 3 cards. It's also blue. It also blocks for 3. It also gives all the effects and has go again, but it gets a +1 power buff instead of go again or overpower like Heave Ho did. So, it's cool. The art's creepy, but it's cool. The art's really creepy, actually. A lot of the art for Gravy is actually really creepy. But then, there's Kelpie, Tangled Mess. This card is really cool. Looking, at least. I don't know if it's good, but it seems really cool looking. But it comes in for 1 damage, it has 3 health, and as an action you can tap and attack with it, and as an action you can spend a resource to tap it, and tap a target hero or ally, and that effect has go again. I don't know, maybe it's helpful, maybe it's not 100% sure. It also pitches for 2, like all allies that Gravy does, or seem to, so I don't know, seems fine. But then there's Limpet Hop-Alon. So the leg's kind of a sword, and it's a bloody sword, and it's a creepy looking zombie thing. It costs nothing, comes in for 2, has 1 health, and as an action you can spend a resource, tap and attack with her, and then that effect has go again. So it's basically like another weapon, sort of, except it comes in for 2 damage. So it's kind of like a better Harmonized Kadachi, in a sense. Now sure, the opponent can kill this, but still, it's got 1 health. That is so annoying, unless your opponent's got daggers. But if they're playing something from the Hunted, then they don't give a crap. If they're not, they're really annoyed with you. Or they're a ninja that has Harmonized Kadachi. Then, if they're not any of those, then they're pissed with you. But yeah. Then there's Scuba, Salty Sea Dog. This guy is creepy as hell. This guy is creepy as hell. It costs nothing, comes in for 4, has 4 health, and as an action you can spend 3, tap and attack with Scuba, and when this attacks you may put a yellow card from your graveyard on the bottom of the owner's deck, and if you do, you get to create a gold token, which is so powerful. Gold creation is so good in Gravy because it can allow you to get stuff into the bin and get rid of those blues to allow you to play your freaking dudes, your allies. Potentially go again, thanks to the compass. You can play a Scuba into a Limpet Hop-Alon. It's just like, oh my gosh, it seems so stupid. But getting into the commons now, I got Angry Bones. It's back to another cycle of stuff. Angry Bones is a 2 cost 6 attack 3 block Pirate Necromancer attack action. It pitches for 1 and says when it attacks you may discard a card or destroy the top card of your deck, and if the card has Water Grave, it gets +1 power. So it could be a 2 cost 7 attack if you do what the deck wants to do. So that seems really good. But then, in addition to that, there's Burly Bones, which is the same thing, except it gets overpowered instead of a +1 power buff. Maybe better, maybe worse, don't really know. But then there's Jittery Bones, which is the same thing, except it gets Go Again, and instead of costing 2 and coming in for 6, it costs 0 and comes in for 4. This card, I think, is the best of the bunch, and this card, I think, is actually going to see a ton of play, both as a red and a yellow, because a 0 for 3 with Go Again is actually, I could see the full rainbow of this card being played, quite honestly, because you want to get rid of blues, you want to get rid of yellows to your chart the high seas because, gold, and yellow just seems good in general, and then Jittery Bones. It's just a red that comes in for 4, and it seems good. There's a lot of good stuff that this card does, is what I'm trying to say. But then there's Restless Bones. This card is a 2 cost. This is the 2 cost version of this cycle of Burly Bones, Angry Bones, Restless Bones. This is the one that gets Go Again. But then there are the common allies. The first one being Barnacle, which is the creepiest freaking thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Jesus crikey. Okay. It costs 2, comes in for 4, has 3 health. As an action, you can tap and attack with Barnacle. And it pitches for 2 because, all allies are yellow for some reason. That thing's creepy. And honestly, it's a decent card. The fact that I wish it had Go Again, honestly. I don't know why I feel like it would have Go Again, but I just feel like it does. Though the Barnacles kind of would slow it down because, look at there are so many Barnacles. But then there's Chowder, Hardy Cook. This guy I think is really cool. I just kind of like it. The art's also creepy, but I think that's just kind of necromancers in general. But it costs 3, pitches for 2, has 3 power, has 3 health. As an action, you can tap and attack with it, or at instant speed, you can tap and gain a life with it. Essentially, the way that I'm looking at this card is that every single turn, you're attacking with it for 3, and then on your opponent's turn, you're tapping it to gain a life. Every turn, gaining life. Every turn in Flesh and Blood is nothing to scoff at. Like, if the opponent doesn't deal with this, it seems kind of innocuous, but this card seems secretly really good to me, in my opinion. Really, really good to me. But then there is Cutty Shock, Quick Clip. I don't know why I said it like that. But it costs 1, comes in for 3, has 4 health, and as an action, you can spend a resource, tap and attack with it, and as a once per turn action, you can spend a resource, say your next ally attack this turn gets +1 power, and the effect has Go Again. Seems like a really solid card. I wish that +1 power was replaced with Go Again, but maybe that's just me. Maybe it's a good thing that this deck doesn't have the ability to give its allies Go Again that much, but who knows? Though, to be fair, you got a Vasti, so there is that. But then there's Rigor Mortis. This is a 1 cost 6 attack, 1 powered ally that has an action, you can spend a resource and attack with it. Again, unless you're from the Hunted or, I can't remember the words, or a ninja, then you don't care about this. If you're from the Hunted or a ninja, you don't care about this. If you're not, you are so pissed at this card because you don't want to have this thing deal 6 damage to you, because for 1 resource, 6 damage, that is pretty powerful. But it has 1 health, so you can get rid of it really easily. But, you're sending in a 3 power, 4 powered attack to deal 1 damage to a thing. That is feels bad. So, I don't know. I like the card. But then there is Shelly Hardened Traveler. This card's weird. It's cool. It's creepy, but it's kind of cool, in my opinion. It pitches for 2, or it costs 2. It also does pitch for 2. It has 4 power, 5 health, and you can spend 3 to tap and attack with it as an action, and some instant speed, you can tap it. So your next attack action card you defend with this turn gets +1 power. So you can turn, because Gravy, outside of the allies, pretty much everything blocks for 3. So Jittery Bones could block for 4. Or something like a, what's something else that you would really want to do? Or something that you'd really want to get value out of in the deck. Maybe Paddle Faster, I don't know. That could block for 4. I mean, turning your attack actions into 4 blocks, I mean, that's nothing to scoff at. And Shelly can do it, so, I don't know. It's defensive because it has a shell on its back. So, whatever. But then there's Swabby. 3 pitch, 7 attack, 3 health, ally. That has an action you can spend to tap and attack with it. Decent. But then there is Dead Threads, the first only Necromancer card on the list. One of the very, very few. And it has Blade Rake, blocks for 1, and at instant speed you can tap and gain a resource. What? But then you can only activate this if an ally has been put into your graveyard this turn. Now, to be fair, that does not say from the arena. That says from anywhere. Or that means, essentially, from anywhere. So it can be from the top of your deck. It could be from your hand by discarding it with Gravy. It could be from the arena. But the fact that this card says, hey, every turn you could potentially just get a free resource seems really good to me. Because the thing is, you can pitch, you can play a Give No Quarter. Make your next 2 allies cost 3 less. And you have a Compass of Sunken Depths. You pitch 1 blue. 1 simple little blue. Let's say you use Gravy, draw a card, discard a card, and you discard an ally. Or a blue. Or something. No, you need to discard an ally. But then you can get a resource off of the Dead Threads. Then you can play, pitching 1 single blue, both a Chum with Go Again and a Whaler Humperdinck. In the same turn, you can play out 15 damage and use the Chum to basically just fog the opponent, not have basically any way to deal with the Whaler Humperdinck, and all of a sudden, you just get to go to your next turn, permitting you have 2 blues, which this deck seems to be wanting to run a ton of blues. Then you can attack for 11 damage. And all you need to do is run this busted piece of chest piece. Also, the art's sick. Like, it's creepy, but it's not as creepy as a lot of the other stuff. But it is really cool art. Like, really, really cool art. But then, there is Headstone. This card, honestly, is also really cool. Blocks for 1 Battle Worn, at instant speed, you can destroy it, and destroy the top card of your deck. So you can, who knows, look at the top card with Compass, then destroy the top card with Headstone. And then maybe that's a blue card, so you can Gravy, play cards, your allies from your discard, who knows. Seems pretty good. But that's it for the Necromancers. Now on to the Rangers. On to the Ranger stuff. And oh boy, there is a lot of Ranger stuff. But the first card is Marilyn, Treasure Hunter. It's 40 elf, 4 intellect, Pirate Ranger hero. That has an action, you can tap it, destroy a gold you control to create a Goldfin Harpoon token. In your hand. Goldfin Harpoon in your hand. And that action has Go Again. And whenever you draw a card during your turn, during your action phase, you may put an arrow from your hand face up into your arsenal. And I might be thinking, what's a Goldfin Harpoon? That's a Goldfin Harpoon. It's a 0 cost, 2 attack, yellow. It is a yellow. Sorry, doesn't pitch for anything, but it is technically a yellow because of the little yellow strip. Well, it says in the parentheses, it's a yellow, but it can't be pitched. But it would say if it would be put into the graveyard, you instead remove it from the game because it's a token, essentially. But Marilyn, I don't know, seems decent enough. I mean, it's basically a fisherwoman, but it's a pirate. So it's the pirate stuff and the fish stuff, and I love the fish, and I love pirates. It seems like the perfect hero for me. I wish it was a I sort of wish it was a Necromancer. I'm kind of glad it's not, because I do love Rangers, and I've been wanting to build a Ranger deck forever, and I've never been able to, that I like, and this could be it. But, anyways, then there's Hammerhead Harpoon Cannon, another huge reason for me to want to build Marilyn. Because this card is a Harpoon Cannon. technically it's a bow cannon, but it's a harpoon cannon. And it's got harpoon in its name, so I'm going to call it a harpoon cannon. But as an action, you can spend 4 resources. 4 resources. That's not a small amount of resources. To tap it and say your next arrow attack this turn gets +4 power, and if it has harpoon in its name, it gets overpower. That is really, really sweet and powerful and good. So, yeah. But then there is the first majestic King Kraken Harpoon. It's a 2 pitch, 6 attack, 3 block pirate ranger attack action, arrow attack action, that pitches for 1 and says go fish, a new keyword that reads, when this hits a hero, they may choose and reveal a card from their hand, and if it's a non-attack action card, they discard it and you create a gold token. And if you've activated a cannon this turn, then you instead look at their hand and choose the card. So you get to create golds, maybe be able to draw cards with the Marilyn, put stuff into your arsenal, and then attack with them. Seems pretty decent. In my opinion. But yeah, King Kraken Harpoon, the fact that it comes in for 6 damage, potentially 10 damage with overpower, makes it really hard for the opponent to not get interacted with, and, you get to create golds. Really, really good. King Shark Harpoon is the exact same thing, except it's for attack actions, which I think makes it a little bit better, because most decks need attack actions in order to win, unless you're in a deck that runs a lot of allies, or something along those lines, or you're an arcane damage dealing deck, so you're that scum of the earth. But, no offense to the arcane damage only decks, the wizard decks, but yeah, I don't like you. But the card's really good. I think it's a little bit better than King Kraken Harpoon, even though the art is inferior. I think this card's art is really cool, but the King Kraken Harpoon art is definitely superior and way the hell cooler. But then there is Big Game Trophy Shot. This card's cool. It pitches for 2, costs 2, block for 3. It's a pirate ranger action with go again, and says your next arrow attack this turn gets +4 power, and if it has harpoon in its name, it gets 1 that hits a hero. You get to create a gold token. Then you draw a card, then discard a card. So, essentially, a way to look at it is Marilyn here. The whole draw cards, you can put arrows into your arsenal, face up into your arsenal. So, if you play this, Big Game Trophy Shot, you load, I don't know, something like a King Kraken Harpoon into your arsenal. Well, it's coming in for 10 damage, and it has this pretty sweet on hit of getting to create golds, and potentially get rid of something from their hand and create another gold. Or just get rid of something from their hand and you don't create a gold, and you just get to get rid of whatever card you want. Or if it's a Goldfin Harpoon, you can play a Big Game Trophy Shot into a Hammerhead Harpoon, then come in with the Goldfin Harpoon that you've created off of Maryland somehow, put it into the arsenal. It's coming in for 10 overpower with an on hit of getting to create a gold. And all you had to do was attack with a 0 cost card. 0 cost attack that comes in for 10. Sure, you had to pitch 6 resources in order to do that, but it's still cool in my mind. But then there's Gold the Tip. This is a 0 cost, 2 pitch, 2 block Pirate Ranger action go again that says your next arrow attack this turn gets +3 power, and if there is a yellow card face up in your arsenal, you get to create a gold token, such as a Goldfin Harpoon, perhaps? So yeah, Gold the Tip, it's a pretty decent card in my opinion. It's not insane. It's not the most insane thing on the planet, but it's decent. It's a decent card. But then there is Bluefin Harpoon. It's in a cycle of cards. There's the red fin harpoon, there's the yellow fin harpoon, and there's the blue fin harpoon. They all do pretty similar things. They all pitch for 3, they all block for 3, they all cost 2, and they all come in for 6, and they all have Go Fish that says, when this hits a hero, you may choose and reveal a card from their hand. It's a blue card for the blue fin harpoon, a red card for the red fin harpoon, or a yellow card for the yellow fin harpoon. You get to say, hey, they discard it, and you create a gold token. And if you activate a cannon's turn, you instead get to look at their hand and choose the card. So good stuff, because interaction, making the opponent discard stuff, All really, really good for you. So yeah. Then there's Rusty Harpoon. Pitches for 3, blocks for 3, comes in for 1 damage, costing 0 resources. It's fine. It's cool because it's a Rusty Harpoon. Because, it's rusty and it comes in for less damage because it's rusty. But it's got a lot of sea in it. It's got a lot of blue sea mixed into its blood. So it pitches for 3. I don't know why it blocks for 3. And the Goldfin Harpoon doesn't block for anything. But maybe that's just me. But then there is Red Spine Manta. Eventually, when Azalea rotates, her signature weapon, Death Dealer, will finally rotate, and that card's busted in its own right. Maybe a card that you want to play in the deck over the Hammerhead Harpoon Cannon, which is unfortunate. I really hope that's not the case, because I really love the name of this card, and I would really like to play with this card as much as I can, but it does suck that you have to pitch 4 resources in order to use it. But still, Hammerhead Harpoon Cannon, really, really cool card. Unfortunately, it's probably not going to be played in Maryland, because the better Red Spine Harpoon, Death Dealer, is going to be played. But Red Spine Harpoon is basically an underpowered version of Death Dealer. As an action, you can tap it, put an arrow card from your hand face up into your arsenal, and that action has go again. The action of putting the thing into the arsenal, it just puts the thing in the arsenal for free. And that's what Death Dealer does, except it says you get to draw a card first, which is... I don't know how that's fair, but apparently it is. So, there you go. But then there is Sea Lace Saron. I don't know how to say that. It's a 2-block blade break, ranger equipment leg piece that adds instant speed. You can tap it and turn a blue arrow in your arsenal face up, and it gets go again for the turn. That is dumb. Because, some of the harpoons that I think are going to be really big in the deck are these 3 harpoons, because the King Kraken Harpoon and the King Shark Harpoon are reds. These are blues, though. The red, yellow, and bluefin Harpoon. So the fact that you can give them go again, maybe go a little bit wider, seems really good to me, in my opinion. But then there is Patch the Hole, another ranger equipment piece, but this time it's a headpiece, and at instant speed you can destroy it and return a card from your arsenal to your hand. So if you mucked up, you can not muck up. You can take back the muck up that you made. I don't know how to say that without it sounding dumb. But then there's Glidewell Fins. It is a ranger equipment arm piece, blocks for 1 battle worn, and as an action you can pay a resource, destroy it, put an arrow card from your hand face up into your arsenal, and it gets +1 power for the turn, and it has go again. It's pretty similar to whatever the card from Arcane Rising does, except it has Battle Worn for 1 instead of Arcane Barrier 1. So it's slightly better, slightly worse, in my opinion. But then there is the first just Ranger card, Barbed Barrage. It's a 1-cost 5 attack 3 block Pirate Ranger or Ranger attack action, arrow attack action. It pitches for 1 and says as an additional cost to play it, you may pay 3 resources, and if you do, this attacks an additional target, such as, who knows, an ally. Just a thought. So there's that. That's pretty cool. But then there is Return Fire, a 4-block ranger block that pitches for 1, costs nothing. Says when this defends, you may banish an arrow from your hand, and then if you do, at the start of your next turn, you put it face up into your arsenal and gets +3 power for the turn. That's absurd, because, it makes your ranger attack a little bit bigger, and it blocks for 4. So, really good stuff. It's a dumb Majestic that's probably going to cost about $1,000 because Rangers are expensive, but it's cool. But then there's Drop the Anchor. Okay, Rangers aren't expensive. Azalea is not expensive. Codex of Frailty is expensive. And I guarantee this card's going to be expensive too, because Codex of Frailty is expensive, and I want to play Codex of Frailty, and I don't have any copies of Codex of Frailty, and I want to play Return Fire, and it's probably going to be super expensive too. Not as expensive as Codex of Frailty. God, I hope not, because this card doesn't go in nearly as many decks. But still, am I salty? No, I'm not. I'm just playing high seas, and there's salt in my mouth because I was in the water of the high seas. Shut up. I'm losing my mind. Okay, anyways. First rare, drop the anchor. It's just a red. Costs nothing. It's a ranger action. We go again. And it blocks your 2. Says your next arrow attack this turn gets +3 power. And when it hits a hero, you tap them, the hero, and all allies they control. That seems pretty good against certain gravy bones. Plus, the art is sick. Like, really, really sick. I love the art for this. But yeah, really cool. Then there is Fire in the Hole. This card is cool because it gives your next arrow attack this turn +3 power, and you may untap a bow you control. So you can maybe load multiple times, such as Red Spine Heart, or god damn it. Such as with the Red Spine Manta, you can potentially load multiple things multiple times with the Fire in the Hole, because that's cool. So, I don't know. It seems decent. It seems fun and decent. But then there is Monkey Powder. I don't know how to really react to the name of that card because it seems really dumb. But cost 3, says your next arrow attack this turn gets +1 power and overpower, and you get to draw a card, and it has go again, and it blocks for 2, and it pitches for 1. It's good stuff, but the name is really funny. But then there is Hook, Line, and Sinker. It's 3 different cards. Hook, it's a 3 pitch, 0 cost, 3 block, ranger action. Go again. It says look at the top card of your deck. If it's an arrow, you may put it face up into your arsenal, and if you do, it gets +1 power for the turn. And then Line is the same thing, except it does go again, gives the thing go again, and Sinker is the same thing, except it gives overpower. So all good in their own sense, but quite honestly, Line is the best. It has some of the coolest art. Hook has the best art, but Line has got some pretty neat art too. Also, there's a weird looking guy on there. Maybe like a stowaway of some kind, who knows. But then, there is Dry Powder Shot. It's a 0 cost, 3 attack, 3 block, 1 pitch, ranger action, ranger arrow attack action that says when this is put face up into an arsenal, it gets +2 power for the turn. That seems pretty decent because, 0 cost, 5 attack. I mean, that's nothing to scoff at, in my opinion. But then there is Entangling Shot. It's a 0 cost, 4 attack, 3 block, ranger arrow attack action. It says when this is put face up into your arsenal, you may tap target hero. It also is just a red, only a red, like the Dry Powder Shot. Then there's Nettling Shot. That's the same thing, except you may tap target ally. So that's cool, I guess. And then there's Scouting Shot, also only a red, and it's when it's put face up into an arsenal, you may look at the top card of your deck. So that's pretty cool. It's also 0 for 4 that blocks for 3. And then there's Swift Shot, which is the same thing as the last several cards, except it gets go again. So that's cool. A lot of cards that are, if they're put up into the arsenal, you get value off of them. Then there's Headshot. When it's put face up into the arsenal, it gets +2 power. And it's 1 cost, 4 attack, 3 block. So it's a worse-ish version of Dry Powder Shot. Kind of, sort of. Except this one is a red, yellow, and blue. Like the Salvage Shot, which is a red, yellow, and blue. There's a red, yellow, and blue. And it costs 1, comes in for 5, blocks for 3. It says when this hits a hero, you may put it on the bottom of the owner's deck. So you can use it maybe multiple times throughout the game, so it seems decent enough. But then there is not the yellow Salvage Shot, the Sikkim Shot. It's a 1 cost, 4 attack, 3 block with go again, and it's a ranger arrow attack action. It pitches for 1. It's also a rainbow, so it's got a red, yellow, and blue version, so that's cool, I guess. Reprints. There have been 3 reprints for Rangers, so that's not great. Call in the Big Guns is up next. It's a 0 cost, Ranger action, go again, blocks for 2. It says your next arrow attack this turn gets +3 power, and you may put an arrow from your hand face up into your arsenal. And it's got go again. The action has go again, and it's got a red, yellow, and blue version, so that's also cool. But then there is the Stowaway, Scurv Stowaway. Just a pirate. It's also a thief. It's a pirate thief hero. It's a Yun version only, unfortunately. Actually, maybe not unfortunately, because it can play it in Project Blue, which again, go check the video out. Link in the description down below. But it's a 4 intellect, 20 health, pirate thief hero, Yun pirate thief hero, that has an action, you can tap it, destroy a gold you control, and create a Gold Kiss Rum token, which, that and the action that's doing this has go again. So Gold Kiss Rum is a token that's way the hell down here. And it says, at instant speed, you can tap your hero, destroy this, and say your next action this turn gets go again, and your hero can't untap this turn unless they're a pirate. Which, somebody here, Gold, where is he? Scurv is a pirate, technically. And whenever you activate a Gold Kiss Rum, you get to gain a resource, which is really cool. Because resources, free resources, that's a busted effect. Also, he's holding a Gold Kiss Rum, which is also cool. But then, there is Sticky Fingers, which I love the name. It's a powered 2 health, perched Scurv Companion offhand ally. So you can have it in addition to a 2-handed weapon. And as an action, you can tap and attack with it. And if it's equipped, you unequip it. And when this attacks a hero, you get to steal a gold they control. So you get to gain control of gold they control. So that is very, very cool. That is very, very cool. But then there is Gold Baited Hook. This is a 1-block battle-worn pirate equipment arm piece that has an action speed ability. You can tap it and say your next pirate attack this turn gets, when this hits a hero, steal a gold they control. Otherwise, you get to create a gold. And at the start of your end phase, if you haven't created or stolen a gold this turn, you destroy this. This card is really dumb in Scurv Stowaway. You get to give your next stuff go again and get resources off of the Scurv by creating Gold Kiss Rums, and you get to create those by destroying golds you control. And this Gold Bait Hook, creates golds. So all very, very good things. But then there is Blue Sea Tricorn. It's a 1-block blade break pirate equipment headpiece that has an action, can spend 3, destroy it, draw a card, and it's got go again. Seems decent, in my opinion. And then there's Buccaneer's Bounty. It's a 1-block blade break, and as an action, you can destroy it, gain a resource, and it's got go again. It's another Blossom Spring, but better, but it can only be in pirate decks, which is unfortunate, but what are you going to do? I wish Blossom Spring got reprinted. Let's be real, I wish it got reprinted so bad. But then there is Fish Fingers. It's a 1-block blade break, and as an action, you can spend a resource, destroy it, and say your next attack this turn gets +1 power. And this action has go again. So, good stuff, I guess. And then there is, I don't know why I scrolled up, Peg Leg. This is a 1-block blade break. As an action, you can spend 3, destroy it, and say your next attack this turn gets go again. And this action that does that has go again. So, good stuff, I guess. Then there is Conqueror of the High Seas. It's a 4-cost, 7-attack, 3-block pirate attack action that says when this hits a hero, you get to destroy all cards in their arsenal. That's good. You get to create a gold token for each card destroyed this way. That's really good because, I mean, you're good to get a gold no matter what. And if a Ranger deck has a certain headpiece I can never remember the name of, they have 2 arsenal slots, basically, maybe 2, and you can maybe create 2 golds off of this, so that's really good. And it also has High Tide, so if there are 2 or more blues in your pitch zone, it gets +1 power and go again. All very, very good things. Then there's Loan Shark. This card's cool. It's a 2-pitch, 0-cost, 3-block pirate action aura with go again that says when this enters, you get to create 2 gold tokens. Yeah. 0 resources, 2 gold, for free. That's not okay, in my opinion. But it reads, at the beginning of your end phase, if you haven't created or stolen a gold this turn, you destroy this, then lose 2 life unless you discard a card. I mean, sure. I'll lose the 2 life. I'd rather not lose a card in my hand, and I get to create 2 golds. Unless I'm Gravy, then yeah, I would want to, discard a card and then, turn on Watery Grave. Or the ability to play Watery Grave cards from my graveyard. Though it would be at your end phase, so whatever. But still, Loan Shark, really good card. Then there is Tip the Barkeep. 3-pitch, 3-block, 0-attack pirate action with go again. It says create a Gold Kiss Rum token. Good stuff. It says you may give a gold token you control to another hero, and if you do, you put this on the bottom of the other's deck. And you might just get to steal that gold right back thanks to a gold-baited hook, potentially. So that's good. Another Majestic Sunken Treasure, 3 pitch, 3 block, pirate block that says when this defends, you may turn a card in a graveyard face down, and if it's yellow, you get to create a gold token. Seems fine. It seems really good in Gravy. Outside of that, I don't know for sure. Then there is a rare HMS Barracuda. This is a cool card. It's a 4 cost, 6 attack, 3 block, 2 pitch, pirate attack action. It says when this hits a hero, you destroy an ally they control, and it has high tide, so if there are 2 or more blue cards in your pitch zone, it gets +1 power and overpower. HMS Kraken is the same card, except when this hits, you get to destroy an item they control, which I think is honestly a little bit better because the allies are a little bit more niche than items, in my opinion, but still not too much better. Then there's HMS Marlin, which is the same thing, except you get to destroy the top card of their deck, which I personally think is the best, but I just don't think it really does a lot. These cards just don't really do a ton, but they're fine, I guess. But then there is Murderous Rabble. It's a 0 cost, 0 attack, 3 block, 3 pitch. Pirate attack action go again that says when this hits, or when this attacks, rather, you reveal the top card of your deck, and it gets +X power, where X is the pitch value of the card revealed this way. It's kind of like a reverse Ravenous Rabble, which is really cool. It's a decent rare, which, by the way, the HMS Barracuda, Kraken, and Marlin are all rares, but the Murderous Rabble is the same thing as Ravenous Rabble, except it's kind of the opposite card. So, if that made any sense, leave a comment down below if that made sense, because I guarantee it didn't. But then there is Pilfer the Wreck. It's a 3 cost, 7 attack, 2 block, the pirate attack action. It says when this hits a hero, you may turn a card in their graveyard face down, and if it's yellow, you get to create a gold token. Also, there is a yellow and red version. Then there's Nope, I clicked the wrong card. Saltwater Swell. This card's cool. So 1 cost, 3 attack, 3 block would go again. Pirate attack action would go again. That says when it attacks you, get to reveal the top card of your deck, and if it's blue, you pitch it. So you basically spend 1 resource to get 3 resources, which is, I mean, that's a dark ritual if you've ever played Magic before, so that's fair. Also, you likely will have 1, more likely 2 resources lying around, so you just have 5 resources, which is fine, I guess. Which does make, you know, this whole card here, Conqueror of the High Seas, way, way better. So there's that too. But then there is Divvy Up. This is a 0 cost pirate action, cost 3, blocks for 3, pitches for 3, says remove half the gold counters from Treasure Island rounded up. If you are a thief, you instead remove them all, and you get to create a gold token equal to the number of gold counters removed this way. Now, before I continue, you might be thinking to yourself, what is Treasure Island? Well, if we scroll down quite a ways, we got a new macro, a High Seas macro landmark that says the first time a hero is attacked each turn, you get to create a gold, or you put a gold counter on this. And whenever you or an ally you control deals combat damage to an opposing hero, you remove that many gold counters from this, then create a gold token equal to the number of counters removed this way. So basically, the way that this works is you play it in draft. It only is playable in draft. And that, I mean, basically, the best way to put it is this little pirate card right here. If I can find it again. Divvy Up is only playable in draft, which sucks, but there's a lot of cards that care about Pirate or Treasure Island, so that's cool at least. Then there is Portside Exchange. This card is really cool art. It's just a rare, but like this version has really cool art. Pitches for 3, blocks for 3, comes in for nothing. It costs 0 is what I meant to say, but it says discard a card, then draw a card, so you got a Pilfer. And it says, if a yellow card is discarded this way, you create a gold token, and this action has go again. So that's cool, I guess? I don't know. It's fine. It's not the greatest thing in the world, but it's fine. Then there is Sea Floor Salvage. It's a 0 cost, 3 block, pirate action go again. Says you may turn a card in your graveyard face down, and if it's yellow, you get to create a gold token. So very similar to the port side exchange, except it's pointing something face down. And then this card, Scrub the Deck, is the same, except you destroy the top card of target hero's deck. So, good stuff. Also, this card is insane in Gravy, in my opinion, because yellow is a big thing in Gravy, because the allies, and if a yellow card is destroyed this way, you get to create a gold. If a blue card is destroyed this way, thanks to Gravy, you just get to play all the water grave cards you want from your graveyard. So, that's very powerful. And the deck doesn't seem to want to run a ton of reds, necessarily. I mean, it's got some that it's going to probably want to run, but still. Mostly yellows and blues. So, you're getting value out of this card pretty much no matter what in Gravy. And it's a blue itself that blocks for 3, so good stuff. Then there is Shifting Tides. It's a 3-pitch, 0 cost, 3 block with Go Again. Pirate action where I will go again. It says at the start of your turn, you pitch the top card of your deck. If it's blue, you put it on the bottom of your deck. Otherwise, you destroy this. Yeah, sure. You get a free card to pitch for 3 resources. That, I don't understand why this is only a rare. This card seems really good to me, unless I'm just kind of losing it. I mean, sure, you need to know what the top card of your deck is, but if you are playing... Again, this card is really good in Gravy. If you are playing the Compass thing, the Compass of Sunken Depths, you get to look at the top card of your deck. If it's not what you want, and you have a gold line around, you can Gravy, and then draw a card, then discard a card. So you get to draw the card that's not a blue. You get to discard a card. Maybe it's a yellow or something that you want to discard. Then, you know, you can maybe get a better chance of getting a blue off of the Shifting Tides, for the Shifting Tides, so... I don't know, seems good to me. Then there's Not So Fast. This is a Scurv specialization. It costs 0, pitches for 2. It's a pirate instant that says, the next time an opponent would draw a card from the effect of a gold token this turn, instead you draw a card. So you get to draw a card, and they don't. And they spent resources to do basically nothing except make you draw cards. Your opponent draw cards, which is a very big feels bad. The card is mean. I don't know how playable it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be super playable, but maybe that's just me. But then there is Throw Caution to the Wind. This, I love the name, because that is totally Pirates in a nutshell. Let's just throw Caution to the Wind. It costs nothing, pitches for 3. It's a pirate instant that blocks for nothing. It says, reveal the top card of your deck. The next time you would be dealt damage this turn, you prevent X of that damage, where X is the pitch value of the card revealed this way. This card sucks. I'm gonna be real. This card sucks. This card is not good. So, yeah. Lost in Transit is up next. It's a 3-block, pirate block. It pitches for 2. It says, when this defends, you may remove a gold counter from Treasure Island. If you do, and you are a thief, you get to create a gold token. Scurv, the more that I look at these cards, I'm remembering why I wasn't super excited and didn't do a video immediately for Scurv when he was spoiled, because he's kind of more of a draft card than anything else, and he's a rare, which means that's going to be harder to pull him in the first place, but not great. But then there is Battalion Bark. It's a 4-cost, 7-attack, 3-block, pirate attack action and pitches for 1, has High Tide. It is the first common of the pirate variety, pirate-only variety. Says if there are 2 or more blue cards in your pitch zone, it gets +2 power. So basically, it's a 4-cost, 9-attack, which is decent, not gonna lie. Just a little bit decent. But yeah, it seems fine for a common. But then there is Expedition to Azuro Keys. This card, the art is sick. It's a 0-cost, 4-attack, 2-block pirate attack action. It says when this attacks, you may put a gold counter on Treasure Island. Pitches for 1. Then there is Expedition to Backwater Strait, which is the same thing, except it's a 1-for-5. The art's a little bit worse. Then there is Expedition to Dreadful Reach. This card's art is sweet. And it's the same thing as the last 2 cards, except it's a 2-for-6. Then there's Expedition to Horizon's Mantle, which is easily the best of all the cards as far as art goes. And it's a 3-for-7. So, yeah. Then there's Golden Tipple. It's a 1-cost, 3-attack, 2-block, pirate attack action. Go again. That says when this attacks, you may discard a yellow card, and if you do, you draw a card and create a gold token. Seems decent enough. Then there is also, it's in a rainbow, red, yellow, and blue. Then there is Gold Hunter Light Sail. This is only a yellow. It's a 1 cost, 4 attack, 2 block that says when it attacks, you control less gold than an opponent. It gets go again. It's kind of like a Scar for a Scar, except it's counting for gold, and it's a yellow 1 cost, 4 attack. So, don't really know how to describe how good or not this card is, but generally speaking, I would say this card isn't great. But then there is Gold Hunter Longboat, and it's the same thing, except it's a 0 for 3, and if you control less gold than an opponent, it comes in for +2 damage. So it's a yellow 0 for 5? So, that's pretty good. Then there's Gold Hunter Marauder, which is the same thing, except overpower. It's kind of the cycle again of go again, bonus power, and overpower. And this is a 3 for 6, by the way. And it's the same thing as everything else I've shown. But then there is Gold Hunter Catch, which is also similar, except it's a 4 for 7. But if you control less gold than an opponent, it costs 2 less. So, could be pretty cheap to come in for 7 damage. But then there is Swift Water Sloop. It's a 2 cost, 6 attack, 2 block that says High Tide. If there are 2 more blue cards in your pitch zone, it gets go again. And it's in a red, yellow, and blue. So, seems fine. Honestly, I think this card's quite a bit better than its bigger cousin, Battalion Bark. But that's just me. Maybe that's just me. Then there's Swindler's Grift. Sorry. It's a 2 cost, 6 attack, 2 block that when this attacks, you may discard a card, a yellow card. And if you do, you draw a card and create a gold token. So basically, you go down 1 yellow, and draw a card, and then you get to create stuff that you're going to use all the frickin' time, because gold are powerful. This card is insane. Also, it's in a yellow and blue. But then there is Thievin' Varmints. It's a 0 cost, 4 attack, 3 block that says when this attacks, you may remove a gold counter from Treasure Island, and if you do and you are a thief, you get to create a gold token. Again, Scurv, only really a draft card, it seems, which is unfortunate, but who knows. Chart of Course is up next. It's a 0 cost part action. We go again. Pitches for 1, technically. Blocks for 2. And it is in a rainbow, so red, yellow, and blue. And it says your first attack this turn comes in for an additional 3 damage. And it says you may put a gold counter on Treasure Island. So, seems really, really good. Then there is Mutiny on the Battalion Bark. This card is a 3-pitch, 0 cost, 2 block, pirate action go again that says for each hero you control that controls more gold than you, you get to steal a gold token they control, and you gain control of it, is essentially what that means. And it reads, if you gain control of 1 or more gold tokens this way, your next attack this turn gets +2 power. So, decent, I guess? I don't know. It's not that great, in my opinion. But then there's Mutiny on the Nimbius Sovereign. And then it says it's the same thing, except it's overpower. So, another cycle. And then Mutiny on the Swift Water. Same thing, but it's go again. This card, I think, is the best of the bunch. This card, not great. But this card, Mutiny on the Swift Water, is the best, in my opinion. Of this cycle of go again, power, and overpower. Then there's Bandana of the Beyond Blue, getting to generics at long last. This card, as an action, you can discard a card, destroy this, put a blue card from your graveyard on the bottom of your deck, and it's got go again. This action has go again. Blocks for nothing, it's just a generic headpiece. Then there is Helmsman's Peak. It's a 1-block blade break that says when this defense, look at the top card of your deck. It's good, I guess, in gravy. Outside of that, not really in much else. Then there's Captain's Coat. As an action, you can destroy this, gain a resource, activate only if you've drawn a card this turn, and this effect has go again. The art is really cool. The effect, man, I wish it could just say, as an action, you can destroy this and get a resource. Nothing else, because Blossom's Ring. Just give us a reprint of Blossom's Ring, please. But yeah, anyways. Then there is Old Knocker, which as an instant speed ability, you can tap your hero and destroy this and gain a resource. And then it's a 1-block blade break too. It's kind of like a semi-worse semi-better because it blocks for 1 Blade Break, though generally you're probably not going to block with it very often. Blossom Sprain, so there is that. Then there is Swift Strike Bracers. As an action, you can destroy this. Say your next attack this turn gets +2 power. Activate only if you played Nimblism this turn, and this effect does go again. Nimblism? What's that card? It's another reprint. It's a 0-cost thing that says your next thing that costs 1 or less gets +3 power if it's red, +2 power if it's yellow, or +1 power if it's the blue version. It's a reprint in the set, and it's fine in draft. Outside, this card and Nimblism are not good. Then there is Light Fingers. It's a 1-block Blade Break that when this defends. If you are a thief, steal a gold token from the attacking hero controls. I'm trying to say words, and it's not wording. But Light Fingers is a decent card. Then there's Quartermaster's Boots. As an action, you can spend 2, destroy this. Say your next attack, your next non-attack action card you play this turn gets Go Again. And this effect has Go Again, and it blocks for 1 Blade Break. Seems decent, I guess. Then there is Quick Clicks. It blocks for nothing. As an action, you can destroy it. Say your next attack this turn gets Go Again. Activate only if you played Nimblism this turn. This card is really good, actually, in combination with Nimblism, because it gives both a power buff and Go Again to the thing, essentially, which is cool. But outside of that, I mean, there are a lot of things that cost more than 1 resource in this set, so not great, honestly, but I don't know. Maybe that's just me. And then there's Sea Legs, First Majestic. This is a 3-pitch, 6-attack, 3-block, 2-pitch that says when this is discarded, you create a Gold Kiss Rum token. Seems fine, I guess. And then there is Midas Touch. Says 1 block, Go Again, or 1 cost, generic action, Go Again, blocks for 3, pitches for 2, says destroy target ally. Its owner creates a gold token equal to its cost. Creates gold tokens equal to its cost. That card seems decent, I guess. Not insane. If it's like, it's another basically sideboard staple, potentially, depending on how good Gravy is, or like if decks really need ways to deal with allies, then this card's great. Otherwise, eh. But then there is Amethyst's Amulet. This is a cycle of, there's a ton of amulets. There are, I think, 9 of them. Yeah, there are 9 of them. So I'm just going to kind of breeze through these as quickly as I can. They're all Majestics. They all cost nothing. They all pitch for 3. They all block for nothing. And they all have Legendary of the Watery Grave, which means you may play, or you may only have 1 of this in a constructed deck. And when this is put into a graveyard from the arena, you turn it face down. And at instant speed, they all have instant speed abilities to destroy themselves, and it gets some kind of effect. For the Amethyst Amulet, says your next attack gets +2 power. For the Diamond Amulet, says you gain an action point. For the Onyx Amulet, says tap all heroes and allies. And it is actually an action with Go Again, so you can only do it on your turn, so it's slightly worse. Then there's Opal Amulet, which is an instant that just allows you to opt to. This card I actually think is kind of decent. Then there is Pearl, and not really, actually. Then there's Pearl Amulet, which is an action that has Go Again. And you get to untap target permanent, which could be decent. Then there is Platinum Amulet, which instant speed. Target defending card gets +1 defense until the end of turn. Then there's... Jesus. Okay. Then there is Panama Amulet. I don't know. As an action with Go Again, you can destroy it to gain 2 health. Gain 2 life. Seems fine, I guess. Then there's Ruby Amulet, which instant speed, gain 2 resources. Cool art. Sapphire Amulet, the best one of the bunch. As an action without Go Again, you can destroy it and say your hero gets +1 intellect this turn, giving yourself 5 intellect for the turn, which is really freaking good. And this is a generic, and I don't know. It seems like in the right decks, especially combo decks, this card is really, really good, potentially. But with me, that's just me. But getting to the rest of the generics, they're all either rares or commons from this point forward. Some reprints, some really good reprints, some new stuff. But the first card, Crash Down the Gates. It's in a rainbow, so red, yellow, and blue. It's a 3-cost, 6-attack, 2-block that says when this attacks a hero, they reveal the top card of their deck. And if it has power greater than the revealed, if this Crash Down the Gates has power greater than a revealed card, it gets +2 power. Then when this hits a hero, destroy the top card of their deck. It's actually pretty decent as far as like interaction and maybe a little bit bigger, like it's a little bit bigger of an attack goes. I don't know, it seems really good because it could be a 3-cost 8 attack potentially, which is really good with some interaction stapled onto it and a generic card. If it blocked for 3, I would think it would be really good. Otherwise, I think the card's just fine. It's not the like best card in the world, but it is still decent. Then there's Jack Be Nimble, Jack Be Quick. There are 2 different cards. The first one, Jack Be Nimble, is a 0-cost 3 attack 3 block that says when this attacks, you may banish a Nimbleism from your graveyard, and if you do this, gets +1 power and go again. And when it's hero, you steal an item they control until the end of this action phase, so you gain control of it. Seems decent. Jack Be Quick says when this attacks, you may banish a Nimbleism from your graveyard. If you do, it gets +1 power and go again. Same thing. But when this hits a hero, you may untap an ally they control, then steal it until the end of this action phase. This one, I think, is way better for this set. Well, I don't know. The item... These are both good in Limited. Outside of Limited, not great. But in Limited, really good. But Money or Your Life is a 3-pitch, 6 attack, 2 block. That's the next card. It's a generic attack action that pitches for 1. Says, when this hits a hero, you deal 2 damage to them unless they give you a gold token they control. And if you are a thief, you repeat this process once. Seems fine. Seems decent. And it's in a rainbow, red, yellow, and blue. Then there's Flying High, which is also in a red, yellow, blue, but it's a little bit different than most. It's a 0-cost, generic action to go again, blocks for 2. It says your next attack this turn gets go again. If it's red, it gets +1 power. For yellow, it says your next attack, if it's yellow, gets +1 power. For the blue, it's the same thing except for blue. But then Clap 'em in Irons is a 3-pitch, 0-cost generic action item will go again that says when this enters the arena, you may tap target pirate, hero, or ally. It can't untap while this is in the arena. At the start of your turn, you destroy this, and it blocks for nothing. Seems pretty good, actually, honestly, against like a pirate deck or a pirate deck with allies such as Gravy. But outside of that, it's not that good. But then there is Regain Composure. It's a 0-cost 3-pitch 2 block generic action go again. It says when this attacks this turn, your next attack this turn gets +1 power, and when this hits a hero, you untap your hero. So you can use it multiple times, maybe get some good value off of them. Who knows? Seems decent to me. But then there is Tit for Tat. It's a 0-cost generic action with go again, blocks for 2, pitches for 3 that says tap target hero, and you untap another target hero. So you can tap your opponent's, untap yours. Seems decent enough. But then there is a card that I really, really like that I think will be really good. Fiddler's Green. This is a 1-block generic block that says when this is put into your graveyard from anywhere, you gain 3 life. So basically this can block for 1, maybe like a dagger for 1 damage potentially. And when the chain closes and this goes away, you get to gain 3 life. So you're essentially blocking for 4, but you are gaining life. Which later on in the game, or at certain points in the game, gaining life is better than blocking for damage. So seems like a good card in my mind, at least. Depending on the matchup. Seems good. Then there is Fool's Gold, a 2-pitch generic resource that says when this is discarded, you get to create a gold token. It's good and limited. But then there is Blow for Blow. First common for the generic suite. It's only a red, and it's 2-block, or sorry, it is a 2-block, but it costs 2, comes in for 4. It's a generic attack action that says when this is played, if you have less life than an opposing hero, it gets go again, and when this hits, you get to deal 1 damage to any target. It's a worse version, in my opinion, of Life for a Life. This is a 1-cost, it is a reprint, and it's been downgraded to a common. It's a 1-cost 4-attack 2-block that says when this is played, if you have less life than an opposing hero, it gets go again, and when this hits a hero, you gain a life. Or when this hits, not even a hero, when this hits, you gain a life. See, so that's good. Then Scar for a Scar, 0-cost. We all know what this card does. It's a 0-cost 4-attack 2-block. When this is played, if you have less life than an opposing hero, it gets go again. Great reprint. Ravenous Rabble, also reprinted in this set. I love this card. 0-cost 5-attack go again 2-block that says when this attack reveals the top card of your deck, it gets -X power where X is the pitch value of the card revealed this way. Really, really good card. in my mind, for aggro decks. Then there's Nimby, a zero cost 3 attack 2 block that says when it's attacked, you may search your deck for a Nimblism, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. That's decent enough. Then there's Raleigh, the Coast Guard, 3 cost 7 attack 2 block, and it has a once per turn instant speed ability. It's also in a rainbow. Once per turn instant speed ability, it's Nimby is in a rainbow, red, yellow, and blue. Raleigh, the Coast Guard, is in a red, yellow, and blue as well. But this card, if you discard a card to its once per turn instant speed ability, you can give it +3 defense, activate only while it's defending. So that's decent. It can block for 5, but you have to basically go down 2 cards, which is not as good, but it's good for draft. It's better for draft than you would think. Then there is Sirens of Safe Harbor. 2 cost 6 attack 2 block, that when this is put into a graveyard from anywhere, you gain a life. This is kind of like a 2 for 7 in a sense, but almost better. Because it comes in for 6 damage, sure, and when the combat chain closes, you gain life, which, like I said earlier, gaining life later on in the game, I don't know, it can be, like, a decent effect. It can be decent. But, I don't know, maybe that's just me. Then, it's also in a rainbow, red, yellow, and blue, the Sirens of Safe Harbor. Then there's Strike Gold, also in a rainbow, red, yellow, and blue. It's a 0 for 4, 2 block. That when this hits, you get to create a gold token. Really, really good for draft. Then there is Trade In. 0 cost 3 attack 2 block. When this attacks, you may discard a card. If you do, you draw a card. When this is played from an arsenal, it gets go again. It's another reprint in a rainbow. Walk the Plank is up next. 3 costs 7 attack 2 block. Then when this hits a pirate hero, you tap them or an ally they control. Seems fine, I guess. It's not great. It's not wonderful, but it's meh. It's meh. Then there's Nimblism. I already talked about this card. Then there's On the Horizon, a 4 block, which is great. And when it defends, you get to look at the top card of your deck. Now, in Project Blue, there are not a lot of 4 blocks. And this is a 4 block. So, it's not a D-React, but it's still pretty good. It's kind of like On the Horizon is kind of like a semi-better, semi-worse version of Fiddler's Green, in my mind, for Project Blue. But then there's gold tokens, Gold Kiss Rum tokens, Cracked Baubles, Treasure Islands. Not going to talk about any of those. Now we're going to talk about the expansion slot. This card, or this expansion slot, has some really good cards. The first one being Codex of Frailty, a reprint, a card that I've talked about in this video, actually, and I'm so glad it's getting reprinted. It's just like, it's a 2-pitch, 2-block, Assassin/Ranger, action go again, costs nothing, says each hero puts an attack action card from their graveyard face down into their arsenal, and each hero that does discards a card. And you get to create a Ponder token under your control, and a Frailty token under each opponent's control. Why this card costs $100? I couldn't tell you. It's a great card. I don't think it's that great, but it's a great card. But yeah, it's really good, and I'm glad it's being reprinted. Sure, it's at Legendary, but this is kind of continuing the theme with the last set that Command & Conquer was reprinted. Now this is getting reprinted. Who knows? Maybe the next set, there's going to be a really good reprint at Legendary that people really want. So I'm liking it. Then there is Undercover Acquisition. It's a 0 cost 3 attack 3 block with stealth that says when this hits a hero, you steal an item they control. It's an assassin attack action, so it's decent. It pitches for 1. It's not the best thing in the world. I don't know how good this is or not, but I don't really see it being that good. Then there's Bam Bam, brute attack action that comes in for 6, blocks for 3, costs 3, pitches for 2 that says when this hits a hero, you destroy an item they control, and at instant speed, you can discard this, and your glove attacks this turn get, when this hits a hero, you destroy an item they control. Seems pretty decent, in my mind, for brutes if they need item destruction. Surface Shaking. This has a lot of text. It pitches for 3, blocks for 3, costs 3, has go again because of Guardian attack action aura, or Guardian action aura. And when this enters, you get to create 3 Seismic Surge tokens, and at the beginning of your action phase, you destroy this. Then, you may put X cards from your hand on the bottom of your deck, where X is the number of cards, Seismic Surge tokens, you control. And you get to draw cards equal to the number of cards put on the bottom of your deck this way. That, honestly, seems pretty good to me, because, I mean, you get to cycle some stuff, and I don't know. It seems fine. Guardians need support, and this card, I don't know if it's going to do enough, but it seems fine. So, That's not the next card. Preach Modesty is the next card. It's a 0 cost 2 block, ninja action aura without go again. Pitches for 1. Says hero abilities can't create cards, and tokens are cards. That is really good against certain decks, like Puffin, for example, or Marilyn. And when this enters the arena, it comes in with a balance counter, and at the beginning of your action phase, you destroy it unless you remove a balance counter from it. So kinda it has like Steam counters on it, but it's balance counters because it's ninjas and they're all balanced, even though, yeah. Preach Modesty seems good. I don't know if it's the most insane thing in history for ninjas, but it seems like a fine card. Then there's Escalated Bloodshed. It's a warrior instant aura, cost 0. Says whenever a hero draws a card during an action phase, they lose a life. And at the beginning of each hero's action phase, they draw a card. Okay. And at the beginning of each hero's end phase, if a weapon did not attack this turn, you destroy this. So that part of it, it's like draining life slowly from the opponent. For warrior decks, it's allowing them to draw a couple extra cards. I don't know, seems fine. It seems bad for you depending on what deck you're going against, because giving certain decks more cards is a really, really bad thing. So I don't really know what to think of this card. It pitches one. I don't really know what to think of this card, but I have thoughts. And they're unclear. But then there's Deny Redemption. This is a Runeblade action, attack action that blocks for 3, costs nothing, attacks for 3, pitches for 1. Says when this attacks a hero with more life than you can deal 1 arcane damage to them, and this damage can't be prevented, because that's fair. And since speed, you can discard this and say heroes can't gain life this turn, which is also fair. Though to be fair, a lot of decks don't really gain a ton of life. I know that there's what's her name that does. The card, one of the heroes from Rosetta, but the card's fine, I guess. Then there is Burn Face. Doesn't pitch for anything. Blocks for 3. Costs 3. And it says deal 6 arcane damage to any target because wizard action. And at instant speed, you can discard it and say destroy target card with Phantasm that is attacking you. Seems decent. Not great, not bad. Then there is Riddle with Regret. This is a Chaos action aura with Go Again. Blocks for 2, costs nothing. Says at the beginning of each hero's end phase, they lose X life, where X is the number of auras they controlled when this triggered, and if X is 3 or more, you destroy this. Seems fine. But then there is Claw of Inserikai. It costs, well, it's a weapon. It attacks for 1, and as a once per turn action, you can spend a resource and attack with it, and it's got Spell Void 1. I don't really like this card, honestly. I don't think this card's really good in Fane. I don't really think it's going to be played in Fane, but leave a comment down below if you agree or not. But then there is Everbloom Life. The life half of it, just a 0 cost Earth instant that gains you a life. Pitches for 3, by the way, blocks for 3. But then there's the other half, Everbloom, which is an Earth action that says, with Go Again, that says choose an action card in your graveyard with a cost of less than the total life you've gained this turn, and you put it on the bottom of the owner's deck. A recursion, but to the bottom of your deck, sort of, is what that second half means. I don't know how good or not that is. I think it's fine. I don't know how fine, like if it's in a good way fine or a bad way fine, but I don't know. But then there is Consigned to the Cosmos Shock. The first half of it, Consigned to the Cosmos, it's like, what the heck? And then there's Shock, which is like, oh, it's that card again. It pitches for 2, blocks for 3. The first half of it is a lightning instant that costs nothing. It says deal 1 arcane damage to any target. The second half, Consigned to the Cosmos, is a 0 cost lightning wizard action without Go Again that says banish X instant in aura cards from any graveyard where X is the amount of arcane damage that you've dealt this turn. Seems fine. I don't know, like, what... I don't know Wizards, so I don't know how good or not this is, but seems fine, I guess, maybe. Then there is, if this will load, Herald of Sekum. It's not loading. It's being a pain in the tush. It's a one pitch, 3 3 block, 7 attack, 2 cost, light illusionist attack action that says, with Phantasm, that says, when this attacks, you may put a yellow card from your hand into your soul. And if you do, you deal 2 arcane damage to any target. Seems good? I mean, the fact that you're putting stuff into your soul, like Prism, new Prism is not as good as it was after the book banning of 2024. Or was it 2025? I don't remember anymore because there's so much news for so many different trading card games that I have to cover. But yeah, Herald of Sechem seems decent. And the fact that it's a Herald and you get to get value off of Prism seems very good for you. Then there's lastly Arcane Compliance. It's a 3-pitch, 0-cost generic instant that says until the end of your turn, effects can't increase arcane damage that target action card on the stack would deal. These last 3 cards, they're all for What's-His-Face, and I don't think, because I know that Sawbones is in the Armory. I think that Anka and Austin are too, but I don't know. Leave a comment down below. I'll just put up the cards real quick. There's a little bit there. A little bit there. And a little bit there. But anyways, with all that aside, hope you enjoyed this video. I know I did, and I know that I'm going to enjoy this set a lot because there is so many things that seem so cool about it. And I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to build a Puffin deck because honestly, Puffin seems like the most fun to me out of all the heroes. Because Gravy, I just don't need the brain like stuff. My brain is already hurting enough as it is, but anyways, with all that aside, hope you all enjoyed this video. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. It's completely free, you won't regret it. And have a great rest of your day, everybody. Enjoy.